Savannah United Church. The Rotary Central Health Check 25 Lifesaver, March 1st, supported by the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens and the Health Services Authority of the Cayman Islands, knowing changes everything.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thanks very much for joining us. It is another fantastic Friday's edition of Talk Today as we invite you to be a part of it. Education, they say, is that great thing that empowers and equalizes. Well, through the good work of Miss Amanda Roberts, we'll get to know where and when and how. All the advantages of a boarding school. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoiding statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome. Thanks very much. They say laughter makes life that much better. Well, it just depends. Are you being laughed at or are you laughing with? It just depends. Well, in the excellent company of Miss Amanda Roberts.
Thank you for having me again.
Always a pleasure. You bring the joy in us. You're like that endearing auntie who just draws an eye and says, come. And let us reason. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm very happy to be here and to introduce some more lovely boarding schools to you from very diverse and different schools, but all fairly small in size this time. But and obviously they're here to do a lovely presentation about the advantages of the boarding school, which is tomorrow, Saturday at 2 p.m, Georgetown Yacht Club. And we hope we'll get a good attendance for them so that those that are maybe on the fence about boarding school and want to hear why we do this or wondering, what all the fuss is about, can come and hear a free information session and ask their questions and get the answers from the experts, basically.
Yeah. But the notion that our students should drive their education to the extent that at the end of the day, if they invested, they're going to be the ones who are, well, hopefully doing the homework. They're going to be the ones who have to decide at the end of the day where it takes them. So we've seen increasingly more and more the young people that are coming on board. In our discussion at some point, I wanted to elicit from you, at what point? So that family now is thinking about it, but the child may be 13 or maybe 3 years old, maybe 9. When would be a good time to go? When would be a good time to have those conversations? They might just be, formative years.
Yeah, I think it's never too early to start thinking about it, but we have a lot of good schools here too, and I think junior boarding is very small numbers here because the kids have a lovely time, when they're small on the beach and everything, and as parents we love having them around and watching all those sports and everything. So generally we're seeing very small numbers to go to junior boarding, which might be from grade 6 upwards. But the bigger cohort is from grades 9 to 12, which is year 10 to 13. But we also, because of the English system, we see a break after the GCSEs, so quite a few just go for the last 2 years for, in England, what would be sixth form, or for grade 11 and 12 in the US and Canada.
So instead of maybe doing an IB program at some school here or doing sixth form, they'll do those 2 last years of...
Yes, they'll do 2 years of
18.
high school in the US or another jurisdiction. But we do encourage going earlier because these schools offer so many extracurricular activities and different programs that the earlier you can go, the earlier you can get to benefit from them, and then maybe specialise later when you've tried all these things, different opportunities that we perhaps don't offer on the island.
Well, let's go around the table. Let's do it clockwise. And let's talk about, when I heard about Canterbury School, I'm thinking, Chaucer? Takes me back to those days. But through you, Miss Amanda, would you take us around the table?
Yes, certainly. Well, first off, we've got David Tuttle from Canterbury School, who has been to Cayman before, so we're delighted to have him back. And he's got a beautiful school in Connecticut. It's a Catholic-based school, but accepting all faiths or none, and has a wonderful swimming pool as well, which perhaps you can talk about too.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Amanda, and thank you, Sterling, for having us. It's great to be back. And Canterbury is a co-educational space for grades 9 through 12. And like Amanda was saying, we're in the state of Connecticut, so about an hour and a half from New York City. And we're considered a small boarding school. Actually, all the guests who are here today are small boarding schools in size. So boarding communities of about 225 students. And for us, we're 220 boarding in 100 day. But we offer 17 different sports. So we have about 34% of our students every year annually are being recruited to the university or around the world university systems for an elite sports recruitment opportunity. So D1, D2, D3. So for a small school, we're very mighty on the athletic side. We offer 17 different sports, one being we have one of the fastest and best aquatic centers in New England for swimming and diving. Carney's always really good about reminding me because her kids actually went to Canterbury.
My 2 daughters graduated from my 2 eldest daughters graduated.
And she's like the swimming programs around the country really look at Canterbury with a little worry because we have a really fast pool because the water moves really fast, so the swimmers pick up a lot of speed. So between the 17 different sport options, music, theater, drama, being in a really ideal location to Boston and New York, I think it's a great holistic opportunity to have an experience where you're meeting kids from 19 different countries, from all over the world. It's about 15% of our student body is international. So your roommate could be from, well, they wouldn't be necessarily from Cayman if you're from Cayman, but you would be definitely having a student from California, Turkey, Spain. So you really do get this really amazing geo lifestyle, right? That, I think especially for island nations, students coming from islands where there's a little bit, more similarity, it's a great opportunity to kind of spread your wings and meet people from all over the world. So, yeah.
As they will expect to do as good parents encourage, right? So, Ms. Carney, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us here, Sterling. And thank you, Amanda, for bringing us all together. Back in Cayman, I met a number of families at this fall in November when Amanda was helping to host the Betty Walker Fair that was here. And it's exciting to be back and connect with all of these schools, really talking about, in a much more intimate way, talking about process, advantages, and how we can help facilitate those questions and explorations for family. And I'm here representing Chatham Hall. We're an all-girls school in Southern Virginia, heading down the East Coast now from Connecticut, just about an hour to an hour and a half from the major North Carolina airports. We're quite at the bottom of the state, further away from D.C. And it's an exceptional opportunity for curious, courageous girls that are really looking to make an impact. What people know us for, typically what we're most famous, so to speak, for, is our equestrian program, our riding program. So the girls that are interested in the IEA, the Interscholastic Equestrian Association, that competition, our team is regularly ranked in the top in the country. And we're on a beautiful campus of 365 acres with barns and stables with 38 teaching horses and an indoor ring and a covered ring and multiple outdoor rings. And I'm not a rider, but I love being in that environment, that idyllic, bucolic environment. What people don't know as much about us is the robotics. We have an exceptional robotics team and STEAM program. Also, our global and entrepreneur programs are something that not everybody knows about. And having a really strong entrepreneurial program at an all-girls school is a value add and something that you don't see all that often, something that I feel really proud of about our school. And we mentioned this morning on one of the other radio shows, not that anyone ever listens to anyone besides you, Sterling.
That's in the morning, so they might.
Just like that little momentary. But one of the things that I feel most proud about, and to piggyback on what David was saying about getting into a global environment where you can really connect with folks from around the world, I feel really proud of our commitment to civil discourse. And as boarding schools, I think we do a good job of bringing a diverse community together. And I feel especially proud of the way that we explicitly train and teach our faculty and staff to engage the girls from around the world and have those really hard conversations in a respectful way that continues to build strong voices, but also build really strong listening ears as well.
So all girls, what ages?
All girls, we are 9 through 12. We are a senior boarding school.
Okay.
Grades 9 through 12. We have 120 students. We also have 17 varsity and JV sports and an exceptional dance program in addition to our award-winning equestrian program and equine science. So the girls that geek out on horses are definitely going to be attracted.
Teaching horses. I just had people teach me, but hey.
No, they are smart animals. Yes.
I mean, how did they write on the blackboards?
Yes.
You remember Mr. Ed?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, when we come back from our first break, Scott, we start back with you. Give us our perspective, honestly, so we can get a chance. And I still try to wrap my mind the horses with the pen, but we'll figure that out. We'll explain it to you after. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman is excited to announce the launch of the new listener survey. Visit Radio Cayman's website, Facebook, or Instagram pages. Take the survey and help shape the future of your Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and to Mr. Amanda over at Dorman Day for facilitating through our parents, giving our students an opportunity to explore, to be educated and empowered, and through them, they are encouraged and nurtured, and they excel. So.
Yes, I think the whole point of Dorman Day effectively is to help families understand what opportunities are out there and help the children get some good options on the table. It's not anything about saying you have to go to boarding school or this is the right school. Definitely, this is the only one for you. It's about finding those great options and certainly from a teenage point of view, letting them take the lead as to finding the right spot for them, given what options are available, so that they feel very much part of the decision making.
All right. Well, that decision making, when employers or companies say to their employees, you have to buy in. If we as parents have our children drive and buy in, it makes the investment that much more, profit. Well, it pays dividends. So, Scott, to you, give us a perspective, man.
Yeah, so thanks, Sterling, for having me here. Amanda, thanks for organizing it. So happy to be here with some dear friends talking about wonderful small boarding schools, right? And so one of the things small boarding schools excel at is this individualized experience, right? And that's really where Soulberry's core is and its history is. So I'm from Soulberry School, which is in Pennsylvania, about just under an hour from Philadelphia and just over an hour from New York City. So on a beautiful campus, but right in the mix of sort of the Eastern civilization seaboard, if you will. And, that individualism is really where Soulberry thrives, of seeing a student, and whether it's taking a really challenging, heavy course load, needing some learning support maybe, or some combination of the two, is really, Soulberry is going to help you have a totally individualized academic, athletic, artistic, extracurricular program. In terms of where we really thrive and what we're known for, it's certainly our arts programs. We have almost 70 distinct art electives, ranging from traditional drawing, painting, to music, to filmmaking, to theater, to dancing, all sorts of stuff. So really great areas for kids to explore there and let their creativity loose and enjoy that aspect of their being while having, a full academic schedule, obviously. And we are a co-ed school, 9th through 12th grade. And, other areas where you can really, again, individualize that experience. We have concentrations that kids can pursue. So if you're passionate about global education or social justice or STEM, then you can sort of dig into that and have a combination of classroom and sort of beyond the classroom experiences that sort of say to you and speak to the world, and maybe particularly to colleges eventually, that this is an area you're not only passionate about, where you've done some really significant work in that area. So I've been there a long time. I've been there 32 years. I sort of live and breathe it. It's been a really special place for my kids who've gone there, and just really grateful for the kids I've been able to sort of work with and see shine, sort of figuring out who they are, how they learn best, and where their passion and their interests really intersect with their talent, and finding that magical space where those two things coincide, where the sort of the beautiful stuff happens, I think.
I thought I was in the kitchen.
Well, Lisa. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm Lisa from Landmark School, and we are a day and boarding school 30 minutes north of Boston. We're also grades 9 through 12 with about 300 students at our high school. In addition to the academic program, we also offer a summer program as well. Landmark has always been at the forefront of working with students with dyslexia and other language-based learning differences, and we're really embracing their strengths. We're not looking at these students as kids who are broken. We're really looking to push them where they can be challenged, but we also have an amazing tutorial program where it's really diagnostic and prescriptive around their testing and really what they're good at, where they need that remediation. So the teachers are all trained. All of our teachers are trained in working with these students, not just the tutorial teachers. So the faculty and staff that are teaching math and science, or might be teaching an art course or coaching them, they're all familiar how these students learn, because we all learn differently. And I think that's something that Landmark has always embraced. And while we are a school that offers probably the most support out of all the schools here, we also are very traditional in the sense that we do have varsity sports, we do have performing arts and visual arts. We even have boat building. And we actually are on the beautiful ocean on the northeast. So for students, right outside of Boston. So so it's a wonderful program to really embrace these students who may have struggled in school.
Now, with respect to your LD, is it that you do an assessment for your students beforehand, or do they have to come in already assessed?
That's a great question.
So all of our
so you're right on with the perfect questions. So all of our students are required to have a neuropsych testing within 3 years. But we also, as part of the interview process, we also do some assessments ourselves to really get to know the students. That way, when we are building a program around them in the tutorial, it's really specific to that individual student. So not any two tutorials are the same. They're all different for every student.
Okay, and then do you have, and there's a new terminology now, but I still know about AEP for all of your students in order to guide them through their curriculum?
We do, yep.
And then you make accommodations based on them?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Because, I mean, many of us look back at our own, even now, having that extra minute and that presentation in a certain way allows us to be able to get the best outcome as opposed to restrained by time and other imposed parameters.
And our class sizes, we can't be more than 8 students because we follow IEPs. We're mandated by the state of Massachusetts to do that. So it's very, very individualized, as Scott was saying, many of our schools.
But I think all the small boarding schools in general, like the focus around that level of individualization, that level of accommodation, like, we're purposely small for a reason, right? Our missions kind of live in this space of being small because we can serve kids at a much higher level. We can be more nimble. We really can create curriculum very quickly, and we can also change course very quickly if we need to. And I think every school in this room is exceptional at that. I mean, we're all unique through our mission, but we are all actually everyone sitting in this room has been a member of the Small Boarding Schools Association Board of Directors. So we're really strong believers in the importance of small boarding schools and learning.
And the power that it can have for a kid, right?
Transformative power, to not ever feel lost, right?
Not ever feel lost, to always feel seen, to always feel understood, right? And to feel supported in your journey. I mean, that's what these schools do so well.
And to have access to programs. We're all talking about incredible programs. There's not a boarding school in the U.S. that doesn't have some really interesting, unique programming. At a small boarding school, the key is that there is access to those programs. And I think that's something important for parents to consider when they're weighing their options. Is you can see some pretty shiny things on a syllabus or on a course selection catalog or on an athletic roster, but what is the access for your child? Are they ever going to have a spot on the varsity team? Is there ever going to be room in that AP course or the special advanced level class or that special service trip? What is at a small boarding school, if you want to do it, it's pretty unlikely that you won't be able to do it.
Great point.
Wow, I love that. I mean, just had a conversation with a fantastic friend earlier where we were talking about, for me, we create programs, but we target for that group. Whether it's STEM or robotics, whether it's arts or athletics, or it's etiquette training. But that's a program that all of us would benefit. If it's going to instill discipline and character and integrity, that's for all of us. So one
of the things we were going to actually present about tomorrow, jobs of the future. Right? This world is constantly changing. Technology is constantly changing. And the core skill sets of what students need to have and be prepared for, those are going to be taught at small boarding schools. The empathy, the leadership opportunities, technological awareness and citizenship. What does that all mean? And how are small boarding schools really preparing these students for those jobs that might not have even been created yet, right? The future is changing every day with technology and such.
And the roles that we'll play in that, could be a minefield, or maybe. All right, so when we come back, Mr. Amanda, another quick break, and then I want to start back, if I might, asking you about the global program, the entrepreneurship program. Share with us a bit. All right, let's pause and take a break, order up some chocolate, get things going. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Cayman airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The 6:15 Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and to Miss Amanda through Tom and Day. Thanks very much. This is exciting. I was just wondering during a break if I shaved. Could I probably get into one of these schools? I mean, they said 9 to 12. I don't know if that was the age or the grades, but I could pass.
You've definitely got a youthful look about you, Stan.
You do.
Thank you. See, my favorite big sister.
Before we go on to, can I take this opportunity to say, we've got the US schools here now, but we did have the UK schools last month, and I want to say a big shout out to the BRAC, because we had a bit of a low attendance here to our event in Grand Cayman, but the BRAC came through for us. We took 4 schools over there, and we went to Lehman Scott High School, where they gave us a wonderful reception, and then in the evening we had a reception, and the BRACers came out in force. So I do want to say a big Dorman Day thank you for that.
Thank you on behalf of all my family and friends in West Bay. And Cameron Brack. No, the Cameron Brack is the sister islands in general, but they're amazing. They're supportive. They're industrious. It's incredible.
Great students and great families, and I hope that perhaps our next one may include some of these lovely schools here
we'll have
too.
a little extended trip
next
year.
Yeah. One of the things that I like, especially with the 4U, is the camaraderie. It's not competitive. You're complementing each other. You're
very much so.
You know, not like unlike the principle in economics where division, labor, and specialization, but you're sharing something that as parents now, a child may be into one area and we have an option. That notion of entrepreneurship, in some cultures it may seem innate, in others it may seem ingrained early on, and we keep talking about women in STEM, women in business. In Cayman we have women in shipping and the like, but if you could just briefly share with us, I mean, how did that program come about? What does it foster? What are some of the programs? Just give us an insight if you would.
That's actually a great intro because it does mean so many different things. And we do have an entrepreneurial program that's not a club. It is it's a part of our curriculum. And it's one of the few places that a young woman in high school can learn the business basics of designing, iterating, financing, funding, and launching their own business while they're in high school. And so it is about creating businesses. And it's also about a mindset.
Yeah.
So as of this winter, our entire faculty has been trained on incorporating an entrepreneurial mindset into whatever they're teaching, whether it's a formal entrepreneurial course or English 3 or Algebra 2, whatever it is, really coming as a faculty member and then teaching our girls to approach their subject matter from an entrepreneurial mindset. And that's really, ultimately, that's really about creativity, and it's about looking for what the problem is and how you can creatively approach those problems with innovative solutions. And then, of course, collaborating and innovating and working as a team, and then presenting. So public speaking obviously is a big part of that too. But am I answering your question? Is that what you were looking for?
Because when we teach business, sometimes we tend to teach it from the theoretical, the academic. Business, like economics, is life. The entrepreneurial nature that you harness. The Rotary sort of junior achievement when they foster. We think to those things, but if you can have that in your daily life, the child comes with a skill set. Sadly, in the Western world, women tend to be relegated to the margins when it comes to business and industry and all the other things. Yet, their creativity, their entrepreneurship. So, thanks for sharing this with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that to the margins too, Sterling, like you were saying earlier, it's like, I mean, yes, women still very much marginalized in business. It's important that there's this focus, but I feel like Western industrialism in general, focuses more on just like on academic learning, like have the skills, have it. It's very transactional. And what we're saying is that's really important. But Lisa was saying earlier, it's like you need the skills of the future are going to be really important, but also what's really important is who are you as a human being? How do you treat other people? How do you behave in industry? How do you treat your partner? How do you start a business with someone who maybe has different ideology than you, but you're on the same team in regards to economy, right? So I think part of the learning experience and what the holistic opportunity that small boarding schools do is not only teach you the transactional technical skills that you need, but also just basic moral, ethical thinking practices and the importance of being a really good human being in the world that we're living in.
Yeah, and the things that were talked about before, right? I mean, this idea of collaboration, of working together, right? The idea of people being in it for each other and getting to know people from around the world, learning those soft skills of time management, of how to handle technology, right? All these things, how to live in a global community, how to disagree and have civil discourse, right? All those things are things that small boarding schools do especially well, right? That the kids are walking away as mature, thoughtful, kind-hearted people who understand that collaboration, like we have here. We are modeling this. This is a model for our students. It is what happens in our schools. Is a better way to go about your life, a more effective, a more productive, leading to a more successful life than the opposite often.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that global citizen that we're trying to foster now is the notion that student is impacted now, but we're trying to impact them for the future. We bring them to the table and teach them early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. As we go back around the table, what else you want listeners to know, particularly, from your perspective?
Yeah, I think what I want our listeners to walk away with about Landmark is that, if you have a diagnosed learning difference, dyslexia, there's a great boarding school outside of Boston that can support them. We have an amazing summer program. So if parents are nervous about sending their students away for an academic year and they just want to experience it, 4 weeks in the summer, during our summer program, they're going to learn some really great skills, but also have fun and know what it feels like to be at a boarding school, and really have
it's 4 weeks, but when does this start?
Yeah, it's in July. right after July 4th in the U.S., and it goes through the end of July, beginning of August. So it's 4 weeks. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Good way to introduce, a student to see if this is a life that you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's a nice experience.
Especially if they're about maybe a year or two out as well, so
yeah.
that they're not going that September necessarily to boarding school, but they might be going the following year. Then it's definitely a nice tester, and to see how they manage away from mum and dad as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Or mum and dad can manage away from the child.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yes, that's true.
You're so
Yeah,
right.
I missed that. No, for Chatham, we see how significant the horses play. We recognize equine therapy and the like. Is it that most of the students who come there already have that affinity for that, or they develop it while they're there?
No, it's the girls that are there that are actively involved in the riding program are usually coming with some riding experience. Are one of the things that's unusual about our riding program, aside from the
teaching
excellence, the teaching horses, is, but it's the teaching horses and the teaching director and coach. It is highly unusual in the equestrian world, in the boarding school world, that the director of the riding program is a school person. They're usually an equestrian person who's like, I got the horses, you do the school. And never shall the twain meet. Our in this room, the director of our riding program was actually my daughter's lacrosse coach at Canterbury School ages ago, and she lives on campus.
I was wearing my Canterbury lacrosse shirt at the pool earlier.
There you go. She is a school educator. She lives on campus. She has advisees. You see her in the dorms and in the dining hall, and that is an exceptional aspect of that program. All that said, she's also committed to making this, once again, accessible. So you don't need to be playing soccer since you were 3 years old to be able to get onto the JV team at Canterbury. You don't need to be a championship rider to be introduced to horsemanship at Chatham Hall. You can also come with an interest, and our director of riding is committed that you will have an opportunity to at least learn about the horses and get on a horse. We also have a summer program for, as Amanda was saying, for the younger girls, for middle school age girls. Some of the programs are specifically focused on an entrepreneurial mindset. It's a great way in a camp setting, to, as we were saying earlier, just dip your toes in. And what I'd like for everyone to go away with thinking about Chatham Hall is it is an exceptional place for those curious thinkers who really want to make an impact in their lives, and they want their lives to make an impact in the world.
Well, David, to you, and then Scott, and then back to Miss Amanda.
Yeah, I think it's, one thing I didn't talk about specifically with Canterbury in terms of a takeaway is that we are a Catholic heritage school, which is different than being a parochial school. We were founded in the Catholic faith, but we have students from all over the world and of all denominations. But at Canterbury, you do have a spiritual expectation to journey through and kind of find where you are going to end up in your post-secondary life with that thinking. It's not becoming Catholic, it's not being Catholic, it's just like really trying to be a little bit more philosophical in our teachings at Canterbury, of understanding that where do we sit in the world amongst other people globally, and having a spiritual journey, we feel, is intrinsic to helping open your mind a little bit more and seeing other people for who they are, appreciating who they are, and kind of seeing where that's going to take you. So that's I think a good takeaway for us, and also just I think just the overall holistic opportunity that is presented. Like we were talking, I think on break, is that so many young people today are really kind of put in this. They're having to specialize more and more at younger and younger ages, and that means certain things that they used to enjoy doing is coming off of their plate and being able to do anymore. And I think, all of our boarding schools, but especially at Canterbury, you can be a star athlete, and you also can be part of the Canterbury Business Association, or you can, be really great in theater. You're a real creative type, but we offer 8 Syracuse University undergraduate courses that you can get credit for that will matriculate to your higher ed transcript, and really have this high level rigor. I mean, doing college courses while you're with us. So, it is, I think at Canterbury you're offered a lot of opportunity to take a lot of different journeys. that will be transformative and amazing and help you make some big decisions, life decisions. Like where you are as a 9th, 10th grader isn't necessarily where you might end up as a graduating 12th grader.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And for Soulberry, so I would want people to know, that it's really a wonderful place for really smart, creative kids. And those kids may not need learning support, and they may need a little learning support. We're not an LD school like Lisa's school, like Landmark, but you can get some really wonderful support in executive functioning, or if you still need a little help with your reading or math, we can certainly do that. And I would say the thing I didn't talk about is sort of culturally. I think we are a little different than lots of schools. We are a less traditional, less formal school with no dress code. And it's a place that is sort of allergic to pretentiousness, I would say. And so I think for that kind of student and that kind of family, when it resonates powerfully for you.
Interest of time, I hold my comment, but someone to take us away.
Well, yes, I mean, fantastically, we've got just 4 schools here. We've got another 5th on the way. He got held up in Charlotte, which is Blue Ridge School, which is a boys' school with a very good sports and everything, but also a terrific learning centre for the boys. So absolutely wonderful with academic support there in a very beautiful setting in Virginia. But just from these few schools, you can see that there's so many wonderful options there. And I do want to encourage the families to take the opportunity to come and talk to them. Hear our presentation on tomorrow, Saturday, 2 p.m. at Georgetown Yacht Club on the advantages of boarding school, and then chat to the schools. And, we'll do Q&A as well. And, they're here to answer your questions and tell you more about what their school has to offer. And then you can come back and see me at Dorman Day afterwards. I'll be here in Georgetown, as usual, for, the sort of follow-up. But I do appreciate them all making the journey to come to Cayman and to showcase their wonderful schools.
Well, thank you. Always a pleasure. I get excited about education and every time we talk with you. So thanks to you all, and please enjoy your visit.
My pleasure.
Yeah. What was another? Never mind. In fact, you ask them to register. Come on.
Well, we do love you to register, so we know who's coming, so we know how many sandwiches to order. Just go to Eventbrite or to the Dorm Day website or look on social media. You'll find us there. Terribly easy to register, but just please let us know you're coming.
So dormanday.ky, is that it?
Yeah.
See, easy to find. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. at the Georgetown Yacht Club.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful setting. The Scots have done a great job with that building, and it's going to be a resounding boarding school fair. So you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.
And safe return flight, but also don't be too long before you come back to Cayman.
We'll be here
soon.
Thank you for the invite.
Thank you.
Well, stay tuned. After the news, join us. We'll have some open line, but we got something else to share with you as well. So join us after.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Cayman Islands national women's football team loses 3-0 to Guatemala in their game opener of the CONCACAF U20 women's qualifiers last night in Trinidad and Tobago. Up next, Cayman will take on Costa Rica at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. 10 former New York State prison guards have been charged in connection with the fatal beating of a prison inmate. Officers were seen on body camera footage hitting Robert Brooks while he sat handcuffed on a medical examination table at the Marcy Correctional Facility in December of 2024. Brooks died the following day. And a notorious gang leader has died after he was shot inside a courthouse in Sri Lanka by a gunman disguised as a lawyer, police say. They say the gunman used a revolver which was smuggled in a hollowed-out book by a female suspect who remains at large. The gang leader had been escorted to court to face proceedings when he was shot. Police say he was a suspect in multiple murder cases. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-86600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands. Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts, MBE, JP. Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts was born at Cotton Tree Bay in Kimmebrack on 15th October 1916 to James Nathaniel Tibbetts and Elsie Hulda Tibbetts B. Hunter. In 1931, the family moved to Belize, then known as British Honduras, where young Keith worked on boats on the dry dock. However, the family returned to Kimmebrack after 6 months, and that is when he began to build catboats. During the 1932 hurricane, at the age of 16, being a strong swimmer, he was able to save many people. However, his baby brother, only sister, and grandmother unfortunately perished. A week after the island-wide disaster, his uncle Dwight came to the island on his own ship with some relief supplies and brought his brother Ronnie. After assisting with the rebuilding of the family home, resurrecting the family car, and helping other relatives and the community rebuild, he built and sold several catboats before going to Jamaica to seek employment as a seaman. This was part 2 of a special Sister Islands vignette series dedicated to Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts.
I'll be back. I've got 22 more days.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And anytime you hear Andrew Martin's voice, even if it's just a snippet from his songs, make sure you realize how beautiful a country, how wonderful and fantastic are people, and how to sit and on the eve of Cocoa Fest. And it's Liana.
Hi everyone, it's me again.
Hey, you just bring it. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm ready. I'm excited. Cocoa Fest is happening tomorrow, and I'm just so excited to see all the beautiful people come on down and really enjoy what we have to offer tomorrow and what the vendors have to offer.
And tomorrow, I think, is such a promising day. I mean, I can think of 3 events that we've helped to promote, and it is possible if we plan our day properly to attend them all and get so much from it.
Yeah, for sure.
God spare his life. I want to make that drive. It's not that far.
It's not far. Come on.
No matter where you're coming from.
Historic Pedro Castle. Yeah. We're kind of like in the middle. Savannah's in the middle. You come on down to Pedro Castle and come have
What's
a good
that song?
time.
Meet in the middle?
Yeah, meet me in the middle. Exactly.
Yeah, there it is. And so, as I plan my day, I'm hoping that I have good company. And for those who are looking for something to do with their families, those who have little charges with them, go out, take your little with you.
Yeah.
Come enjoy. So there,
Be tons of activities.
the robots are also on display at another place. You can get it all. You know, it's going to be a good day. And
It is.
I want you to tell us because I'm sort of saving up my appetite for everything coconut.
Listen, I'm telling you to come hungry because we are going to have exquisite food dishes by all of our food vendors. There's going to be snacks. So you can have a full meal. You can have snacks. The kids can have snacks. They're going to play games. They're going to get tired. They're going to get hungry. Then you're going to get hungry again from having to deal with them. Then you know you get a plate to go.
It's always good to have some snack on you.
Yes, exactly.
A man cannot snack alone.
We're going to have tons of fresh coconut water at our coconut bar as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to also look out for.
All right. So it's tomorrow at Pedro.
It's happening tomorrow.
What time?
From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And we have tons of entertainment in between that as well, local entertainment. We have raffle prizes. We will be giving away a round trip to Tampa as well, courtesy of Cayman Airways. So you don't want to miss that.
Man, I haven't been to Tampa in too long.
Yeah,
My
so
sister's not going to be happy. But it's actually where my next trip away, God's Spirit Life, is where I want to go. I don't want to go. That's my next stop. I have to go see her out there. So maybe
that sounds good.
Maybe
you got to come and enter the raffle because
exactly.
that ticket could be yours.
That could be mine. If not, I can hear the good folks over at Cayman Sales. Don't worry, we can sell you one. Don't feel no way. So no, I love Cayman Sales, and this is a good partnership. The government entities. So midday tomorrow. Come with your family and your friends.
Yeah.
All things coconut.
All things coconut.
My Cocoa Fest. All right, tell us about it because I want to hear as much as you can share.
Okay.
So that we will know what to expect.
So what you can expect tomorrow, we have tons of activities. So for those of you who are interested in the award-winning documentary Bright Spot, we will also be showing that documentary tomorrow for 4 screenings. So the times for those will be 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. in our Pedro St. James Theater. So if you've never been to our theater before, this is also an opportunity for you to come in and kind of see what the setup is like. It's really old school. It's really nice. So you come in, you get to see the Bright Spot. So that's what started this whole thing with Cocoa Fest. So you don't want to miss that, that viewing. And we have 4 screenings, so that gives you enough time. If you can't make it to a specific time, you plan your day around the one that you can make it to.
So your entry and admission then gives you access to the screening?
That is correct. Okay. So once you've paid to enter the event, everything, including that screening, is a part of that. So you don't have to pay extra for that. The only thing you bring the monies for is for the food, the treats, and whatever you want to buy from the vendors. Okay. Everything else is a part of the experience.
And the fresh air and sunshine.
That's for free.
That's priceless.
And we have extra breeze, up that side.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
I got a friend who comes there every so often.
Okay.
Tries to bottle it.
Oh, to take it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's what I'm told.
Yeah.
I'll see if tomorrow. Yeah.
No, it's really like right now. Before I left to come here, it was super windy, and then by the time I got here, I was like, "Whoa, it's very hot." When they set up a
political meeting tonight.
I don't know about that.
No, you missed that. Across the table, there was a laughter. I like that. That's my attempt at having a little levity. Laughter is good medicine.
It is.
But that's what tomorrow is going to be for the families, that dating couple, that sort of chaperones coming along. Yeah. Maybe you bring in one of your or both of your parents.
Yes.
Just come out. It's going to be a great day. God's willing. I want to make the drive and be a part of it.
Yeah, I hope to see you there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get to the robotics thing because we have so much going on in this country that we complain there's nothing to do.
Exactly.
And tomorrow we have many wonderful family enriching opportunities. And
sounds
I think
good.
Cocoa Fest, if you're not there, then you can't comment on it because you won't know firsthand. Yeah. You hear what you missed.
Yeah, you'll just be missing a really good experience. Yeah. The team has really gone above and beyond to ensure that the 10-year anniversary is just, an experience for all and something that everybody can benefit from, and then just, you know, the work that goes into what the vendors are going to come and put out for the guests to come out and enjoy. You know, because remember, they have to prep for this, they have to cook the food, they have to make the treats, whatever they're making. Some of them hand make items just for this event that are made from coconut. So you want to come out and support those people.
So you just told us it starts at midday.
Starts at midday.
We got this screenings every hour from 1, 2, 3, and 4.
That's correct.
And obviously at some point the gates will close, and it'd be like one of my sisters joke. You know, she has a party and everybody comes in. She goes, everybody had a good time, yay! Everybody had enough to eat, yay! Okay, you know, go home to party. Right? So it's going to close at some point.
Yeah, it ends at 6. So
you got 6 fun-filled hours.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good day. And if you're bringing the kids, we have the kids coconut craft corner, which is going to include coconut bowling. There's going to be face painting.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing arts and crafts out of coconuts. There's just so much activities that. There's going to be like a little bouncing house area. Listen, we going to have your children tired and in bed by 7. So bring the kids, because there's going to be tons of games and activities for them. And the local inspired coconut cooked food. Yeah. You probably going to be in bed by 8 after you put the kids to sleep, because you're just going to be full from all the good food that you had.
I think it'd be the way around. The kids will have you tired.
That too.
Much earlier. But either way, you're going to have fun, right?
Yes.
I want, if I may, of all the coconut inspired and coconut infused and coconut concoctions that are over there, have you had a chance to, as you went through the vendors and the offerings, any favorites that you want to make sure because we all have a go-to, right? Some of us is coconut drops and coconut tarts, and some of us coconut candy, and some of us is just, anything coconut.
I will never be able to put anything above. I'm a treats girl, so I like sweets. Sweets are obsessed with me, though, by the way. It's not me who's obsessed.
They find you, right?
So there's definitely going to be some ice cream, coconut ice cream that's going to be there. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And there's going to be a boba. So it's a special kind of tea that they make, and it's made with some coconut milk. I'm going to be drinking those all day. So
I got to bring my flask just in case. I'll go across the touch and bar.
I'm gonna be drinking those. They're actually a vendor as well.
I know.
So so I'm gonna be drinking that all day. And then there's gonna be.
You're day drinking? You said it. I was one.
No, I'm gonna have boba. Oh. There's no alcohol included.
Did I say that? I implied it, baby. No, I just messing with it. But coconut is fantastic. So you got the coconut boba tea.
Yes. So they make it with like a coconut milk. So and then they add the sweetener to it. It's just a really nice treat, honestly. And then there's gonna be just ice cream. They have they're gonna have coconut ice cream and other coconut treats. And then of course, like I said, we're gonna have our Pedro St. James coconut bar. So I'm gonna stay hydrated as well. So I'll be drinking coconut water all day. I'll try to save some for everybody else, but yes, that is the plan. We're gonna have a coconut bar, we're gonna have coconut water. There's just so much that's gonna be at this event.
Thanks for sharing. Not to put you in a spot, but the reason I asked, being privy to some of the vendors and privy to some of the offerings, I went through. I love food, as you can tell.
Of course.
I mean, it's kitchen where the magic happens, right?
Yeah, of course.
And sometimes we go to these things and we want to try, but because it's 6 hours, let's pace ourselves. And coconut water is just amazing. It's refreshing. It's nourishing. It actually does what the scientists claim you can get from the places in just this one offering. And as I looked at all of it, there's the sustenance of that food is going to give you, the grounding. There's the treats that reward you for your efforts, right? And I haven't been able yet to navigate, because I love this. The sweetness of life, I just like it, man. Got to meet in the middle somewhere, man. I have to find that balance, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you help me to make sure that I don't go.
You don't have to go overboard. There's just so many options. You have, like I said, you have a meal, you have a snack, then we have desserts.
Oh yeah.
So what else can you really ask for?
A companion.
Yeah.
Bring your parent, your sibling, your good friend, your younger you know.
Yeah, bring everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, it's for those who don't know how much it is to get in and you're wondering, oh my goodness, I want to go, but can I afford to go? We've made it very affordable. It's $15 for adults. And it is $5 for children 6 and above. And then it's free for children under 6.
Okay.
So if your children are under 6, you're not paying $1. And then if they're 6 and above, it's just $5.
Okay. Is children in the chronological or the way we behave? I'm just trying to figure this out.
Wow.
You told me that last time. Norman's like,
wow.
You probably get it for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know you're an adult, so you'll pay
Thank
the
you.
adult price.
Only this time, huh?
Just this time.
No. I say this in partly in jest, but I think it's good for us to explore. And even a setting like that is worth just going to. A setting like that with this offering, even more so.
Yeah.
And with all great deference to all, we know how busy each day, and a Saturday in particular, with all the things. When you were here last, we kind of gave people a heads up. I had, like many, clear certain things in the calendar to come. Not just because it's the 10th year.
Right.
But it's something that it's an annual. It's something that gives the vendors, the entrepreneurs, encouragement. But it does more. It makes us appreciate what is on offer.
Yeah.
Because we say, okay, man, has nothing to do with it. No, it's...
And then there's a whole event happening with all these vendors and all these activities.
Surrounding one thing, right? And that one thing was such a significant part, not of only our history and heritage and our culture, but it played a key role in their industry not that long ago.
Yeah.
Right? Depending on who we are, where we are, we may have heard our parents or our grandparents talk about it.
Right.
And the impact when the disease came and affected the coconuts, right? Here is now an approach. Sort of, the tamer, it's a sobering reminder of sometimes it takes someone else with a different lens to highlight something that we have inadvertently taken for granted, right? And I'm excited tomorrow.
Many people have coconut trees in their yards and things, and they don't use them. They just sit there and they dry up. But really and truly, there's so much, like we said, there's so many benefits to the coconut as well.
Yeah, one dark girl to shows on the back, and then I get on Little Cayman, and to hear the ladies there talk about it and the uses and the way there's a bit of in teaching, there's the laughter, and when we learn and we know, we appreciate how significant coconut is in our lives in Cayman. It may be the same elsewhere, but I only live here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we don't see how this becomes that teaching moment, but also a grounding moment. So for me, it's a sort of personal sort of track. So God's willing, I'll get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Kind of mapped it in my mind where I'm going to start first. But
yeah.
Let me see.
You're going to get there and you're just going to be like, do I want to go left? Do I want to go right? Do I want to go in the middle? You'll make your decision and make your way around.
Be centered, and then you can always, go both ways.
Get some coconut water first. Start there.
That's the plan.
You want to refresh yourself, hydrate yourself.
There you go.
And then you can decide what side you want to take on next.
Yeah, I think Mr. Alvin's food going to call. That's going to be the sort of the cornerstone, right? And we sit, and I got the spot where it overlooks there. Even when the blowhole isn't up there, you get to see the that's going to be the spot.
Yeah.
We walk around. I'm not going to do the bunks and castle.
Okay. All right. Well we hope.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't want to. I'm not going to be able to. But, apparently there's a height restriction.
A height restriction.
I can't get in.
Yes, and then you know what? Also, when you're not busy eating or having a snack, like I said, there's going to be the entertainment that we're going to have. Yes. We have live DJs. The show is hosted as well. So we're going to have the show hosted. We're going to be doing interviews with the vendors so people can get to know a little bit more of what they have, what the offerings are. We're going to have persons like Radiance Dance Studios doing dancing, Cayman National Dance Group going to be dancing. We're going to have live performances, Dan Ebanks, Steel Pan, Cayman Cowboy. Yeah, we got you covered tomorrow.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
And sometimes I know we say things, and for me, it's a personal excitement, and like anything,
Yeah.
you gotta have a mindset.
Of
You
course.
can't go into your game day feeling anything other than the most positive, enthusiastic, determined self, right? Your fans come with that energy.
Yeah.
The game is gonna be better for both, competing fans, right? So it's like tomorrow, and it's not hype; it's hopeful expectation.
Yes.
And I'm excited,
Exactly.
man. I want to be, I want to embrace this.
Yeah. And one of the things that I really want persons attending the event tomorrow to look out for is a bit of a surprise that we'll have at the event once they enter. And I want persons, especially those that have been attending the event for the last 10 years, to look around and see what we have put in place for you to enjoy and see these memories from over the last 10 years as well. So I want persons to come. I want persons to take their photos, take their videos, and really take in all of the history that we are going to bring for you tomorrow.
Be in the moment.
Exactly.
And I say that for me because too often we are making an investment for future returns, but we rarely get to appreciate the now.
Yeah.
And it is something that I think we need to do more of, but we do it together. So my invitation is, hey, come along, bring somebody, agree to meet up there, and just walk around and share it.
Yeah.
Food is great, but better with someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just makes that, bread and cheese with water, that much more enjoyable if someone is there with you, your little brother, your older sister, your dad, your uncle, whoever,
Yeah.
And tomorrow
children
promises.
Children love this event. You know what I mean? They get to come out, even if it's their siblings, their friends, whoever it is.
Right.
Or friends meet up and they bring their children. So everybody's just having, a good time. And I just think it's important, we come out and we celebrate and we enjoy this type of time.
And the lawn is there. Allow that, it's a nice grassy area.
Yeah.
The vista as we look over there in the shore, to the horizon, it does something for the psyche. Right. So I'm mindful. Like I said, much is on tomorrow, but if we plan our day properly, we can truly embrace, enjoy, and at the end of the day, be encouraged by what Cayman has to offer.
That's correct.
So share with us. I know you got to get back to stuff, and before we break in 4 minutes. Tell us why. And thanks again for coming in.
Yeah,
it's not just about promotion, it's an invitation.
Yes.
Right.
Inviting everybody to come out, to celebrate with us, to have a good times. And, this event honestly would not be possible without our sponsors. So we want to thank them. We want to thank our sponsors. So the Ministry of Tourism and Ports, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Heritage, Pepsi, which is CL Distributors. We want to thank the Cayman Islands National Attractions Authority, Custom Graphics, Crown Event Rentals, Foster's, Cayman Airways, Vigor Nursery, and Event Pro.
All right. And that is midday tomorrow.
Midday tomorrow.
Patricia James.
Features.
Parking is...
Yeah, we have tons of parking. Once you enter, we have the parking area. And then if you don't get parking on site of the event, there's always across the road. There's along the sides if you're doing it the legal way. There'll be volunteers out there. So, parking is not a problem. You just come in and you enjoy yourself and you have a good time. Any questions or concerns, you can reach out and find somebody who's your shirt say event staff, and we can assist with anything that you need.
Okay, and if you don't, you know what?
Yeah.
You will be part of a wonderful, wonderful afternoon.
Yes, for sure.
Midday until 6 p.m. Make sure once we enter, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 o'clock showing, maybe you might see it first and then go back to see it again because you blinked.
And you missed something.
You missed something, right?
Yeah.
It happens. Don't be like the fellow who, in the live running of the horses, he bet and lost, and then he doubled down on the instant replay and lost even more.
Oh, gee.
But don't do that.
Yeah, let's not do
but
that.
come and see it. And all right, $15 if you're
$15 for adults, $5 for 6 and over, free for under 6. And come on out. You can get your tickets ahead of time. You can buy them on eventpro.ky. And if you don't want to purchase them ahead of time, then we'll see you in the line tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a student who is very technical and literal. So $15 for adults, but 6 and over is $5.
Yes.
You see the.
Don't come confusing me with numbers now. I'm not a numbers girl.
You keep telling me that. No, I just mess you with.
I'm not a numbers girl.
Bring your money.
Yeah,
probably
bring your money.
there'll be vendors with their digital little
gizmos. And we'll be taking cards at the gate.
Yeah.
As well. So I know a lot of people don't walk with cash. Some of the vendors may not have card machines, so you want to bring your cash with you. And if not, I guess then you just have to go to the vendors that take the machines. But we want you to walk with your cash, walk with your card, walk with your smiles, walk with your energy, walk with your appetite. Just come and walk with us. Have a good time tomorrow at Cocoa Fest, 12 to 6 at the historic Pedro St. James. And we can't wait to see you because you'd be nuts to miss this.
I know you delivered that the last time, and I thought, man.
It's my favorite line. It honestly, I don't think I'll ever stop saying it now because I've just been saying it everywhere. And it's just in my face. And literally, that's just my new life motto.
And it works for you.
Yeah, I love it.
And
it's great.
You know what? Let me not say that because no one will be like, no, but I say this not as a public commitment, but as a personal endeavor. God spare life. I want to make a drive out.
Yeah.
I'll see how it works with my plans. But if it doesn't, you know what? If you can't enjoy your company yourself, then you're gonna be alone.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
It's now thank you, and if you want to repeat anything before you get it,
yes,
listen,
for
thanks.
Just want to remind everybody, Cocoa Fest 10th anniversary happening tomorrow, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the historic Pedro Castle. Come on down and have a good time, and everything is going to be coconut inspired. We have coconut inspired dishes. We have coconut inspired crafts for the kids. It's just going to be a really good time, and we want everybody to come out, enjoy, bring your family, bring your friends, and we cannot wait to spend the day with you tomorrow.
How many people have, you heard actually say that to you? You know who I'm talking to. That they actually want to spend the day with you. This is for you. God's willing, I'll see you there. And thanks again. And to you and what used to be the Tourism Attraction Board now is the Cayman Islands National Attractions Authority.
Better known as CINA. Just
Wasn't
to
it a
cut
singer?
it down.
Yeah.
Huh? Just to cut it down a bit. Just to cut it down.
Well, not only to you and your team, a great thanks for the organization, the sponsors coming aboard, the vendors.
Yes.
A very, very successful 10th anniversary.
Yeah.
But we as a country, taking a breather. There's something about inhaling the salt air, the taste of it, the feel of that sea breeze as it enters your lungs.
Right.
But when sort of combined with coconut water, man.
Right there.
When you go home and your children are tired out, you'll see the benefits. It'll make you rest nicely.
Yes.
All right. Tomorrow, Cocoa Fest, midday until 6 p.m.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
All right. Thanks again. Join us right after the break. Paul, are we going to do something that's worthwhile? No, you might. I will. See? You see? All right. Join me after the break for Open Line.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949 92311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. But no way I going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter. Get your tickets now for Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day, the 56th Annual Agricultural Show at the Stacey Wartler Agricultural Pavilion in Lower Valley. Ash Wednesday, March 5th. Raffle tickets are on sale now at eventpro.ky and include general admission to the show. Not one, but two $10,000 grand prizes. All the fun, all the entertainment, the food, the animals, the plants, and homemade goodies. Get your raffle tickets now at eventpro.ky. The 56th Annual Agricultural Show, Ash Wednesday, March 5th.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Cayman, could it be you? Tortuga's 10K giveaway is back, and someone's walking away with $10,000 in cash. Every time you spend $25 at Tortuga, in-store, or online at tortuga.ky, you get a shot at winning big. As well as $10,000 in cash, we've got thousands in giveaways to hand out every week. Think staycations, the latest iPhones, exclusive experiences, and more. Get in to win. Visit tortuga.ky for the full terms and conditions.
Attention Cayman! Transform your kitchen for less with Granite Express, Cayman's big clearance sale. Until February 28th, get huge discounts on granite and quartz kitchen countertops. Plus, refresh your space with our cabinet respray services for as low as $3,950. If you only want a countertop, prices start at $2,150. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit Granite Express Cayman today or call 922-0424 for a free estimate. That's 922-0424. Granite Express. Quality stone. Unbeatable prices.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And what better way to spend the day when you have the company of someone who's so gifted with the art of conversation, something that is long lost, not unlike our inabilities to sit with pen in hand and, either doodle or do some drafting on paper. So, to Ilya Solomon, welcome.
Hey, it looks like we actually got the memo because I just realized that you're in blue and I'm in blue. I thought I would come at a bit more of a, closer to the shore blue, and you look like you're a little bit further out, more darker blue.
Either further out or higher up in the sky. Your blue, some would say, probably more metrosexual. Mine is more grounded.
Well, I don't know. That's a new phrase. We need metrosexual. What that one is now.
And isn't that a phrase that some hear and go, what do I call him? Right? The Renaissance man of yesteryear.
This is all new to me, but
I know, but we'll get you there,
Yeah.
And I see we both got a memo of not shaving.
Yeah, well, I have a little 5 o'clock shave going on.
Mine is probably more like 7 p.m.
7 p.m. All right. Well, I think mine's 5, but I'm not really sure. It's good Friday. To be here with you as usual. And it's Friday.
On a 5 o'clock on Friday?
Yeah.
What's that song? 5 o'clock somewhere?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Don't get me singing again. I tell you what, Alan used to tell me.
Sorry. Can you say that publicly? First off,
I can say. Oh yeah.
Did he tell you that bananas?
This is something good, man.
Oh, okay.
I said I'm bad about my friend Alan. Come on now.
Boy,
Especially
nobody.
how he not running no more. He can't. Nobody. He can say, "Come on now."
I don't want anybody
I'm not gonna beat me now, and I'm running.
accuse you of being, what Alden would say, Sir Alden, he would say, you're sort of liberal with the truth, right?
No, man, now you can uncover the truth, nothing like that. But one time he said to me, he said, "How you know all these cry songs, man?" So he said I was like a master on the cry songs, but I love the country.
Yeah. But isn't that real music?
Real music. Hey, listen to me, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to figure out where these guys come with these lyrics, man.
Yeah.
I'll
From
never forget when I was on the Rooster, and I can't remember the name of the lady, or maybe I just don't want to call it, but she calls in, she say, that is donkey years ago, But she say, "Elio, in Austin, I want you to put on that song." She say, the one about the ring on the finger. Be down there figuring out what song is she talking about. She said the one he put the ring on the right hand this time. We finally figured it out.
Yeah.
She talking about that song is I put the golden ring on the right
hand?
on the right left hand this time.
Yeah.
That's the one she was trying to tell us.
You can sing it.
I know that one too.
Yeah.
Put a golden band on the right left hand this time. And the right left hand put a golden band on mine. And when her hair is snowy white, time will prove I'm right. I put a golden band on the right left hand. You get the idea.
Who sings that?
Well, I'm always a big George Jones fan, so as far as I know, that's at least his version.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah,
George
I love
Jones
it.
one.
Yeah, man. Dangerous fella. No show Jones. No more showing now because unfortunately he's passed away.
Yeah, well, his legacy is something in paying homage to Mr. Loxley. Called him one day, he was talking about country singers.
Mr. Loxley Banks.
Mr. Loxley Banks, right? And it's something that I think, in speaking to country music stars, it applies to almost all genres of musicians today. Whether it's AI or whether it's a lack of creativity or whatever.
Right.
There is no originality. There is very little ability. They all sound alike. And yesteryear, the musicians were very distinct. They had respect for their craft,
right,
but for the listeners, right? And so as you sang that, and we'll take the break, the Tiny Taco song, Sparrows in a Hurricane.
Come on, go ahead. Don't leave me. Don't make it that I'm the only one on here singing.
No, Paul gonna join us, man.
No, I talking about you.
Okay, see, if
you want Buster too.
No, and I would, right? But the problem is, if you singing so well and I try, we will see who can't sing and who can.
Don't worry about it.
So let me just,
The whole idea is the public just have a good time.
My daughter once said, silence is golden. You don't need to break it.
Well, you have merit there.
Let's take this call, my friend.
Okay.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ebanks. How are you?
I am well, and you? How are you?
Who's that celebrity you have inside there?
Okay, well, if you were looking on YouTube, you would recognize this former parliamentarian Elio Solomon. If you were listening on the radio and unable to see, you would be. Is that George Jones?
Tell you what he need to do now. He need to leave the politics and all that talent he have and he be further off.
I agree with you, man.
I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just saying because he sound good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, that could be a top 10.
Yeah, man. Well, one night, right, at the Den Royal Palms, Rhoda was having an event. Mr. Solomon here was a headliner. And in the audience, there were a number of country music executives and the like. And what he wouldn't tell you is that he had to choose between his passion and commitment to country through his political endeavors and a stint in Nashville. And, he chose wisely.
Okay, all right. Anyway, I had to put that piece in front because he sung.
I appreciate those kind words. I appreciate it.
Thanks very much, man. And otherwise, all is well with you, right?
I believe so. I'm alive and I've got up this morning. And
yeah, Marabi, that's amazing, man. May God grant you.
Make it this far, so.
Right. All the best to you, all right?
Have a blessed weekend.
Thanks very much.
All right, to hear you.
All right, same to you, my brother.
In this, right, as you go into the Friday, I'm glad, well, you asked me earlier if we should say why you're here, and I said, nah, you're here, but...
You change your mind?
No, let's give people an opportunity to appreciate it, because I don't believe there are coincidences, right? And I think you here gives us two opportunities. One, to say it's me for myself. Because like you, many of us are very passionate about the country. Like you, we're cognizant that we're on the eve, so to speak, of another very important event in the country's history. And so whereas, some of your colleagues would have been scheduled to come on, talk about the port and the referendum and the like, and things being what they are in terms of our schedules, sometimes needing us just to quickly pivot, to use today's parlance, you arrive and, well, they had to...
Yeah, well, yes, my intentions, in the spirit of transparency. In the spirit
Don't be so, jeez, man.
Well, sometimes you gotta, just a live.
Sit down for Monday with Austin.
Just a live lit up. Hey, we still on today? We on today? We on today?
Not after today, you're not.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, just sidetracked him because I don't think necessarily we have any specific topic today. But when I first got into radio, I was told by a good guy, JB. He's like, Ilya, you need to show extra excitement when you're on the radio. And he says it seems extra to you, but it comes across great to the listener. And I think it's about a big part of being on the talk show is a little bit of entertainment. Like I used to listen to Rush, he would grab a piece of paper like this. And granted, majority of people are just listening, right?
Yeah.
So I'm reading this from a piece of paper. This is an exact memo coming from blah, 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 blah. And hear that? That's paper. Just letting you know. This is a legitimate, it would just add a little bit of excitement and stuff. So you got to pardon me.
Sorry, you saw that face down, right?
Yeah, you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, no, great.
Return it in its upright and locked position.
Boy, this guy getting kind of strict. So either way, I do little things like that from time to time. But in the spirit of transparency, yes, my initial plan was to come here and to join myself with two colleagues. But as you quite rightly mentioned, some schedule changes have occurred, and I ended up here by myself. No.
Hang on, I'm here. You're not by yourself.
Well, I mean, insofar as my two other colleagues.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
But at least you and I combined out of the four makes at least 50%. And there's a song that 2 out of 3 isn't bad. And I'd have to settle that 2 out of 4 isn't pretty bad.
As you said, as we go into the break, two things you immediately resonate with me. One, the energy.
Yeah, you need the energy.
Right? I hope my team here would allow me to, through them, borrow from their energy, their enthusiasm, their industriousness, their professionalism. I watch them deliver on air. It takes a lot,
Yeah.
And when they leave, they're exhausted. Right? So they're not just playing music. Susan, Paul, Lynn, Doc, Joel, just that 5. I've had the distinct pleasure from very early, whoever was on the shift, to late. And I use the late for last with JJ for a second, all right? The music is being played itself is uplifting, but the person programming, delivering, introducing, taking the tone from the breaks, if they don't bring that, right? It's not something that people truly appreciate.
Well, well, that's it. I mean, a lot of times, if you do a job well, you become like the heart beating in your chest. I mean, how many people listening to me today actually got up this morning and said, "Oh my God, thank you for my heart. I really appreciate this. It's ticking." No, we just completely ignore it because it works. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, if it starts gripping you tightly at about 3:30 in the morning or something, you'll know exactly all about your heart. And so a person like you sitting on the talk show and doing a wonderful, and may I use the pun, sterling job, could easily could easily go unnoticed because you're doing it well. It's only when you don't do it well that people really appreciate it sometime of what it is to actually do something well. The other thing you're taught on radio is, no dead air, right? So your guest doesn't show up and, you just have to say, well, things are going good here in the studio. Got a black folder in front of me. Right here is the phone. Oh, look at my shades. This is amazing. Whatever it is, just don't make any dead air.
Yeah, but interesting you shared that, right? 'Cause I've always hesitated. And as much as I love music, I love country, calypso, and classical above all.
I still won't sing the song.
Yeah, and there is a life experience lesson, an example, something that we can take from music, and in particular, country music.
Right.
I'm not sure about the ones today, but real country music, right?
Real country.
Yeah, real country. And I've heard it said again recently that music does not need permission to enter your soul, your spirit, your ears. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So you need to be conscious in your selection. And if we look back to our parents and their parents, they were very conscious in their lives. As they open their eyes, okay, there's a song there, open your eyes. Okay. You know the song?
I'm hearing it.
Yeah. They said their prayers.
If you could see the visual, there's like melodious notes just floating out of my ears.
Actually,
you saw it,
like
right?
I can see it.
There you go.
Somewhat, if you look.
I'm glad I drew it to your attention.
No, I saw it.
Saw it all
you saw it as I said the words,
okay,
right?
Great.
It was not.
Once again, we're aligned.
Just as the stars and the planets.
But you know, the thing, yeah, that's right. I know that one. And by the way, I need to ask you how Mr. Banks is doing. But prior to that, you know, the thing is, honestly, is a lot of times we can do things, experience something without really taking time to consciously note it. And when you listen to the country music, like look at that one that, you know, George Jones sings about, what was it now? Where he's talking about, good year for the roses, right? And you sit and you think, you know, there's a line, and these two things I like. He says, well, I can hardly bear the sight of lipstick on the cigarettes there in the ashtray. Laying cold the way you left them, but at least your lips caress them while you pack. Now listen to this one. And the lip print on a half-filled cup of coffee that you poured and didn't drink, but at least you thought you wanted it, and that's so much more than I really can say for me. And I have to sit and I say, my God, who came up with that? I mean, you know, if you think about it, you're really just, I could put that in simple terms. I'm basically saying, I didn't feel loved by you, and, you know, I think that coffee meant more to you than me.
You probably did.
Right. But the thing is that who takes those things and puts it and twists it and aligns it and in such a way that carries gives it even deeper meaning because of the way it's put together. It's just really awesome. And I always try to tell, I got some workers, and I tell them, and I've gave them some exercises, right? I said to them, I made a plant pot, and it was a square pot. Do you know how to actually do it that you can get the center out? And I made them mull over this for like an entire week. And then finally I showed them how to do it. And I said, the reason I'm telling you that is because I want you to have an attitude of gratitude. There's a guy that sits there, for example, on plumbing, and the first time they did it, they were smelling feces in the shower. And somebody had to figure out to put a gooseneck, right?
The P-trap?
The little P-trap, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you and I, we can just look at that and say, so what? It's a P-trap. But I want you to go back to when we didn't have a P-trap. And it's the same thing. I'm a person, I take a deep consideration and have gratitude for any time I can see creativity, I can see talent, I can see hard work. And that's the person I am. And not that you want to transition into cruise tourism, but again, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. But the thing is that I admire it. I admire it wherever I go. I've heard persons very close to me who'll say things like, so and so, and they'll talk about business people as if they're all corrupt. I'm like, listen, for you to be successful at anything, Dwayne, you've got to work hard at it. And you're doing something right, and we need to have an attitude of gratitude. And not just because I'm here, but I like to give my flowers while they're alive, because, you know, I could be hit by a truck tomorrow, vice versa.
God forbid, man.
But the thing of it is that I would like to know that when people listen to my voice 10 years from now, when Elio's gone, they would be saying he did something good and he spoke well about other people every chance he got. And it's the same thing with you. I want to say that you're sat here for how many years now? Many years.
17 plus.
Yeah, 17 plus. And so just that alone, regardless of how we feel, a person should take an attitude of gratitude to say, wow, this guy sat on that show 17 years. I've been listening to him. And surely we have to say, if a stopwatch is right twice a day, then Dwayne must have got it right a couple of times.
Well, thank you. And it would be remiss of me if I don't publicly acknowledge how I understand how words are important. Scripture says life and death is in the tongue.
Correct.
So my prayer for you publicly now and privately when I, pray without ceasing, you do not only have 10 years, you have 10 times 10. A healthy life so that you're here longer than 10 years from now.
I appreciate that.
And I say that carefully because I think too many times we say things. Good friend yesterday, comment was made, and she quickly, said a prayer, right? Mm-hmm. And I was there and we joined because people can take what they want from it. It doesn't really matter. But we can speak positivity and life, but we can choose not to. I'd rather we do speak life and positivity, right? All right, we're going to take the break, my friend. I would rather not, but...
I have two things to respond to what you
3 minutes. Thank you, sir. Ask license and get permission. Go ahead. He said we can 3 minutes.
We can blab around a little bit.
We can blab around a little bit. Thank you, sir.
Well, two things. and I think it's important because you said life and death, and quite frankly, I think the Bible says death and life, which I think is interesting why it chooses to put death first.
And the reason why I switched. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. But I think that's important. But I want persons to know. I mean, I'm very optimistic. But the reason I say things like hit by a truck tomorrow, 10 years, is because again, all of those things remind me that life is short. And I want to be able to know that I try to do my best. Not always perfect at it, but try to do my best to fully appreciate life.
Thank you. And this is where I look at things. And out of deference for two individuals specifically, I'm mindful of how people may draw inferences. But like you, there's an attitude of gratitude in me. Very, very serious when it comes to being gracious and grateful. And like our forefathers who, before they leave their beds, they said their prayers in whatever form. I did a quick read the other day about beta and theta waves. Trust me, I didn't understand a whole lot of it. But it left me thinking that if I understood what we share, that beta wave, once engaged, gets you on a particular path. If you allow the theta to sort of just stay for a little bit longer in that space, your creativity, right? Similarly, these dumb appendages that we all have, the minute we look at that, something to do with the light and the flashing and all of this stuff, just like the television screen, it kicks you out of the theta and into the beta waves, and so you become functioning, you become this thing. To what extent is that impacting us? Similarly, studies indicate that a student with a pen or pencil and a piece of paper writing in cursive, the creativity, the fact that the pen is forming the letters and the pen really is picked from the paper, much better than some other means of putting down your thoughts. In sharing that, we like what you shared, looking at life. We are not seeing in what it says, scripture says, man, isn't promised tomorrow. No man knows the time or the hour, right? So I made an error, I think, in living so much in the future. That's sacrifice. Friend said, think of it as an investment. So life to me was 0 to 100 in terms of years. That first 50 years, you're making the investment, the sacrifice, the commitment. You were doing that thing, sowing seed for that harvest, 50 plus. Now it may be 70 plus, it may be 80 plus, 90 plus, but make it easy, 0 to 50, 50 to 100. The probability, at least before everybody got an injection, was 0 to 50, would have been higher chance that you would live than it would be 50 to 100. But in those latter years, if you don't have the provision, but how to say, you build in, make provision. You might not add on, you might not do this thing, but if you make provision now, it's easier, cheaper, and you can accommodate it then because you put the pipe in for the extended thing, right? We're not doing enough of that, and maybe when we come back from the break, if you're so inclined, from your vast experience as a parliamentarian, for your civic engagement, your hosting of talk shows, and all of the things, can we talk about the political landscape? Give you a couple minutes to think about it, if you're so inclined. I want an honest, constructive critique of our landscape. We are not individuals who publicly will castigate an individual about something, but I leave it to you as you so choose, because I know it won't be unprofessional nor defamatory, but there needs to be constructive, critical thinking that is not occurring. So could we invite you for that conversation?
Oh, absolutely.
All
Love
right.
it. Thanks.
And he might sing. Take us to the break singing a song.
He said, I love you till I die.
And George Jones in the background.
She told him you
join us after the news break.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments February 22nd to the 28th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointments and slots are limited whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email Dr. Porter Kman at gmail.com. That's drporterkman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations. Some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic cat, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britgay. Good luck with that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Attention all residents of Savannah and surrounding areas. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman PACE Committee invites you all to their prostate and colon cancer awareness meeting on Thursday, February 27th at the Savannah United Church, starting at 7 p.m. Guest speakers are Dr. David and Dr. Mubin Bean from Grand Harbor Medical, who will be discussing colon and prostate cancer diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. Men, come out and get your PSA test done for free. Remember, early detection saves lives. Refreshments will be served.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
Cayman's top boxer Jaden Eccleston is preparing for his second professional fight after a successful debut in November. The 26-year-old, known as Mad Slug, will enter the ring on February 22nd at the Futures A Gloves Over Guns Initiative Fight Night at the Stanley Couch Gym in Jamaica. He will face off against Jamaican Kevon Willis. Good afternoon, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines. In news elsewhere, the U.S. government will end the Temporary Protection Status, or TPS, for 500,000 Haitians living in the country in August. The Department of Homeland Security said on Thursday. This comes despite deteriorating conditions in the Caribbean country, with gangs controlling about 85% of the capital and sexual violence against children increasing by 1,000% last year, according to the United Nations. TPS is granted to nationals of designated countries facing unsafe conditions such as armed conflict or environmental disasters. U.S. President Donald Trump has moved to overhaul parts of the U.S. immigration system since returning to office and promised mass deportations and arrest. TPS has been held by Haitians since 2010 and will be ending on August 3, 2025. This means they will lose their work permits and could be eligible for deportation. And the New York Yankees have reversed a 49-year-old facial hair policy to allow their players and staff to now sport well-groomed beards. Under the previous club regulations, a player's hair was not allowed to touch their colors, and although mustaches were allowed, beards were not permitted. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And I'm hoping and praying that as we join our hands and hearts, we'll continue to make our efforts conscious and deliberate from a perspective of trying to make this country the wonderful place it is. The social stability, the political stability, the economic prosperity. To former parliamentarian Elio Salma, thanks for sharing. It's true, the banter, and sometimes the lyrics of songs, but country in particular, that if we stop and reflect on life, even if the comedians joke that we have to play the country song backwards, right?
to get our crap back,
yeah. Even if it's that way. But I asked you...
At least we have a solution.
There you go, right? And going into the break, if we could, if you're so inclined, to help us from your perspective, to sort of critically, and I use that word consciously because for so many, that's a negative word. Even as parents and policymakers, we say to our educators, we want you to develop critical thinkers. We want informed consumers. That's the same thing, So as we assess the political landscape, as we make perhaps assertions of what could transpire post-April 30th, and we've gone to the polls, give us an assessment. And well, that first, and then I may posit something else.
Well, I mean, it's a broad question, so I guess I'll start in a.
Those are the best questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'll start in a very broad way. I think that I won't call the last name because that would prejudice person's mind too much. But I remember my dad, I think it was, or it could have been my grandfather, someone older than me for sure in family, used to say to me, back in the day, you had a certain person or a group of people that they would put the cow under the tree and then let everyone know that if they got elected, they killed the cow, and if they didn't get elected, the cow doesn't die. And again, without mentioning all those specifics on the name, not to prejudice anyone because that's not the intention, but just simply to answer the question as broad as I got it. I think one of the things that's very important to me is I believe that in any organization, in any type of job, and nothing different when it comes to the persons who are going to run for parliament, which in my opinion arguably does one of the most important jobs, is that you want to make sure that you're giving a fair opportunity for every single person out there to have a chance to get elected. And I say that because I understand that, and let me pick on you, for example. You were one of the persons that inspired me to run. Right?
You've said that. You really mean that.
But no, wow. I'm serious because I remember looking at you and saying, and there's at least three persons, and Ralston is one of them, Mr. Ralston England. And I even remember looking, I think it was Craig Brown. And I was first of all, but my focus is on you now. And I remember when seeing you run and saying to myself, that's a very audacious fellow. Although I might have been using a different word than audacious, but I was saying it was very courageous of you, and it was inspiring because I said, well, if he can do it, I can do it.
That's right.
Even though I didn't do it then, but it was a part of that inspiration.
Yeah.
And I mention all that not just to give you flowers and well-deserved ones, but the thing of it is that I believe that in every occupation, every organization, and nothing different with the country, there's some persons out there right now that have a tremendous amount of skills, tremendous amount of knowledge, certain characteristics that is ideal to help to run this country. But they may never be heard and may never get a chance to be elected simply because of their circumstances. Maybe they don't have enough money to put up enough signs or enough money to buy enough ads. And this is why I push, and I'm a proponent of trying as much as possible to do away with the sort of standard that we have for election now, where you're having partisan groups running around spending millions of dollars. And I would love to see things focus more in a way like how the Chamber of Commerce has their debates, etc. And the reason is, and allowing the public to exercise, to enjoy those things and use that as a vehicle to be able to help them to make an informed decision. And I want to see something like that because I think, unfortunately, a lot of good talent, a lot of good skills, knowledge, etc., are not being given that chance simply because they don't have the money.
Right.
And if you could equalize the field in that way, I think you would have persons that would say, wow, In other words, again, I don't want to call names, but you might hear, oh, so-and-so, he was a big shot guy in the financial services industry, or this one was a big engineer, and you're thinking certain things based on that information. But there may be a guy somewhere out there that you've never heard of, but when you see them debate, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm not impressed. And so I say that because if there's one thing I want us to try to do is in every way possible, allow the field to be as equalized as possible so that we can see the people based on the merit.
I want to join you in a couple of comments, but let me then ask, because often, whether in this jurisdiction or others, we hear many say, well, you don't have any political experience.
Right.
Not only because of my respect for him, the person, but how my mother-in-law always spoke of him, Mr. Roy McTaggart, right? Well-behaved young man, she would say, and everything. Roy publicly shared, some he shared privately. He said, man, coming from where he was at the helm of what he was, it's a steep learning curve. So you don't get political experience until you get the opportunity to get political experience, irrespective of what degree or education or life experience you have. With that premise, is that a justified statement or unfounded in your view, that if you don't have political experience, then you don't have much to offer?
Well, I think that I think it would perhaps first of all be important for us to define what we mean by experience.
Okay.
If we mean experience by you have to be there, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Okay.
But I think that where a person can gather certain knowledge and experience even vicariously. So in other words, for example, before I ran to Parliament, I was in the media. And I sat in the Parliament every day. And I read the standing orders. It's like I was like in practice.
You were making,
I was in practice.
Right.
And so in the same way, you could have a person, you can have a young man sitting next to his father while he's driving the car. And that kid's getting experience.
Yeah.
He's watching his dad, his feet.
But he's being taught as well.
He's being taught as well.
And he's receptive to the teaching.
Right.
Okay.
And even if he's not deliberately or intentionally being taught, if he's receptive, if he wants to drive a car, he's watching you and he's learning.
Right.
And you see kids out there doing these things and spinning their hand and pretending they're driving. They are getting that experience, if you like, vicarious. And I say that because persons can do that as well. And that would be one thing. They may not have actually been there, but believe it or not, they have acquired on their own certain knowledge and experience.
Right.
And just one last thing. Would also be the situation where I would say that even if a person hasn't gotten a lot of that experience, as long as they're willing to work twice as hard, if you like, when they get in there to make sure that they are learning the rules as quickly as possible while trying to do something, then it can still work.
That's why I champion it doesn't mind, and people probably accuse me, oh yeah, you actually like him, Mr. McKeever Bush, right?
Yeah.
His life story is one that his academic qualifications, because of limited available opportunities for him at the time, But he has a incredible work ethic, right? Many would say he's his own worst enemy, as we all are, right? Industrious, committed, he's studious, he's well read, he applies himself, and he learn through time and through application. I want to say to the share then, do you think that, as many have said, A, there's no place in politics for Christians, and B, more importantly now, you can be more effective outside of the political arena than an elected parliamentarian? Quickly on the first one, no space in place for politics.
Clearly I don't agree with that at all. And I really look at the Bible, and I've reached the conclusions that I have reached about the Bible, not just simply because I'm trying to serve the God that my father did.
Yeah.
I reach it from an intellectual standpoint, and I'm happy to debate it at any point in time, this talk show, any venue that you want. Don't give me the nonsense you don't believe. Let's debate it on the merit of the different things that you read there and test it, and you're going to see that there. I don't care who you want to say wrote the Bible. There's some validity there that you can't go.
Even if nothing is good principle, just to follow for life.
Whatever it is, you can't dispute the wisdom that's in the words. And one of the things that's very important there, when the Bible talks about leadership, for example, in the church, is it talks about what that character of the man should be. And I think if you actually look at it, and I remember a friend of mine, he is originally from Canada, but he kind of grew up in Bahamas. He lives here now. He and I have chatted about this significantly. And I remember us entertaining various things, and well, if you tweak this, it might happen. And at all circumstances, we led back to the Bible. That if you actually did these things coming from the Bible, you wouldn't have a lot of the problems that you have. Yeah. And like I said, I'll slip the cruise tourism. I'm looking.
You just can't help yourself.
But I'm looking.
You sure you're not Mario?
I'm looking for a round table there, and I'm saying to you, I will happily debate the issues, the merit of the Bible in terms of not just Christianity but leadership with anyone.
So what about, as has been often said by many, you can be more effective on outside than an elected parliamentarian?
Well, I think there's some merit to that. I don't know if I'm going to put one over the other. I mean, first of all, just to give you my experience, I remember when the Honorable Linford Pearson was running for office, I was able to assist him in getting elected in 2000. And not that I have anything against the lovely lady, Miss Lucy. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm family to her. But he was able to actually beat her by just about 52 votes, right? It's nothing worse than losing by a small amount, right? But either way, he beat her by 52 votes. But I mention him because I think he did a lot of things when he was in office. Liberalization of telecommunication. There was a time when we could barely afford to have one cell phone in our hips. Now we can have two. And the calling party used to pay, and the list goes on. All those things have gone away. So a tremendous amount of things that he did. And I remember sitting in Parliament, and I think it's important to share the story. I went to my head in computer services and said we should run fiber optics all around the country. We can save this and save that. And it wasn't being entertained. Finally, the late Thomas Jefferson, I went to him and I said, we really need to make this happen. And I went down to the Parliament with Mr. Pearson, standing over his shoulder, if you like, answering questions as a technocrat. And I remember saying to myself, this is where I need to be. I can make decisions. And the bottom line of it is, let's show you this. When Mr. Jefferson approved it, the cable wireless at the time was offering to give us dark fiber on a rental basis for $500,000 a year. Because of the support that I got, I was able to put all that fiber in place permanently for $175,000.
That was the ring that we went around.
Correct.
The loop, right?
Pretty much.
But the flip side of that is, my understanding, employees within cable and wireless, instead of just numbers, putting in a 1-foot pipe that would have accommodated greater accommodation as being advised by some others, put in a 6-inch pipe, just for argument's sake.
Well, I actually put in most instances, the minimum I put in was 2 2-inch pipes. And quite coincidentally enough, I ended up going to do work with West Star, I think it was in 2014, and ended up helping them to get into the seam trenches that I'd put in place before I left government, which I left government in 1999. And they would have ended up paying millions of dollars to get into those seam trenches. So you can see it was a wise idea, it was a wise decision, and the things that we can accomplish. And I say all that to say there is some things that you can't do unless you're there, but have no doubt about it. If you're on the radio, I think it's a very, very important job, and arguably one of the most important jobs. They say that it is the hand, how's the saying going? The hand that shakes the cradle that So rocks the cradle, shapes the world.
Yeah. So
and I think it's the same thing with teachers. And on being on the talk show, I think amongst other things, you're a teacher. You're helping to shape minds and helping them to understand how they should be thinking.
Right. But to your point, that I think depends on a number of things. Right? I go back to, and thank you for the kind words that you shared. For me, only because it was shared of me, so I'll ask you publicly for not just chastising correction, but for encouragement and make sure I'm on the right path. Being here for as long as I have, there's consistency. There's a level of attempted competence and respect. There's confidentiality. There's accommodation. All who come in, they get a chance to share their views. Right? I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I'm here, and the objective is to facilitate your discussion. I'm not going to use it as a platform. I'm not going to beat anybody up with it. I'm going to use it to self-promote. But increasingly, to your point about teaching, I think what we're finding, like the teacher in front of the classroom, like the media outfit, and others, there's an agenda. There are ulterior motives, and not necessarily to inform, but often to malign and misinform. Oftentimes to ensure that whatever comes out benefits that intent and is not intentionally honest, ethical, honorable, or uplifting.
But that, and you're absolutely right. That happens, and I even mentioned on my talk show,
which is when 4 to 6 sometime later.
Well, I mentioned the same thing because I honestly have no respect for media that does that because I mentioned on my talk, so I won't do it on yours because I know that you're in a even more sensitive position than myself, right?
Is that because Austin?
But understand that at the minimum a newspaper should be is an accurate record of history.
An accurate record of history.
An accurate record of history. Somebody should be able to come back 20 years from now and say, what happened with this this particular, and they should be able to go into the archives.
Right.
And so when I see people that are running newspapers that deliberately, and not unintentionally, deliberately withhold information, I'm sorry, but they should not be in business.
But is that because, well, that's a whole different discussion. I agree with you. We want historical accuracy, but we also want contemporary commentary that is respectful and responsible. We're getting that infrequently, right? And it's something that you...
Well, the respectful commentary is definitely something else. I don't know where that has come from recently, but it seems like, you and I would have to get on here and cuss a couple of dirty words in order to get the ratings up. But I think there was one of the philosophers that said, and I don't remember the exact phraseology, but basically what he was saying is swearing language and certain things is actually when a person is trying to compensate for a lack of talent. Because when you have real talent, you can actually provide, you can inform, you can entertain, and everything can be done in a respectful way. When I have to now get on here and just badmouth X, Y, and Z and whatever, then clearly I'm lacking some talent.
Yeah, many will subscribe to that notion. There's a fellow, what's his name?
I can't allow dead air.
No.
Jumping in.
No, go ahead.
While you think.
No, I was looking at the clock, looking at my good fellow across the table, and he says, no, hold that thought, go to the break. So let's do that. Sometimes we got to be saved from our
Saved by the bell.
Yeah. Join us after the break.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on a board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Islands Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hi, I'm Deputy Governor Franz Manderson, and I'm excited to announce the DG's 5K Challenge is just around the corner. We kick off things in Little Cayman on March 9th, followed by Cayman Brack on March 16th, and the grand finale on Grand Cayman on March 30th. This year, we're supporting the Cayman Islands Girls Brigade, the Cayman Islands Scouts Association, and the 1-to-1 Foundation, each helping to shape our next generation. Join us in making a positive impact. For registration details, find us on Facebook at DG's 5K Challenge.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Elio Solomon with less than 5 minutes of thereabouts remaining. Time does go fast when you're hungry.
We're gonna have to come back and do this for 2 hours when again.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. No, if you would, man. If you would. And I had a message, but that can be read on Monday. As we work, I'm thinking increasingly that as nominations they unfold, what are we going to see? And any predictions or projections on your part?
But what we're going to see in terms of the
candidates in who and numbers and what areas might surprise us? Will we have, as president, two still to be on contested incumbents? What are you seeing, bro?
Well, that's a question that I'm not sure I can answer in the next 4 or 5 minutes. But I think that
don't be economical retreat, but be succinct with your.
Again, really, what I would like to see is, I think I'd probably say it this way. I think everybody has a desire to run, but it would be good to see a little bit more. How can I put it? Pre-election discussions taking place.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of times persons really need to just ask themselves, what's the real reason that I'm running?
What was that motivation?
What is motivating me here? Is it simply because somebody's asking me to run? Do I have a real genuine passion for it? And the list goes on. I mean, I've heard persons say, well, I had to twist so-and-so's arm to get him in there. And I really think, first of all, you really shouldn't be running if it's not something that's in your heart to do. Because you are working to get elected to serve the people of the country.
Yeah.
And I'm a strong believer that your head is what should give you direction, but your heart have to fuel it.
Yeah.
That's the motor.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that heart in it, when the time really comes that challenges you, you won't have what it takes to survive.
Yeah. Here is it, right? That as you shared that, and like you, there are many of us that love this country. We would serve in every capacity if it meant meaningfully adding value to the Cayman landscape. We're seeing a growing divided society politically. We're even seeing it from the religious perspective. Or we're seeing it color. We're seeing it in so many ways. And iterations in recent times of the behaviors exhibited by some in the lack of effective, positive, nurturing, unifying leadership, we're not that far from a society where our personal safety and security is at peril. That's my view.
Mm-hmm.
The passion I have for this, I'd resign right now if you could make a difference. Right?
And you can make a difference. You know, doing what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And like I said, not just about giving flowers while alive, but I like to speak truthfully.
Yeah.
And if somebody, and I had this discussion with someone, I said, there's certain characteristics for the job. If you came along to me and you said, Elio, I want to get into construction, well, I might say to you, well, what area of construction? You want to do sheetrock work, for example?
Right.
Roofing, or you want to do some masonry work? Yeah. Okay, so let's just say a person said they want to do masonry work. I'm going to say, okay, well, can you lift at least 36 pounds easily and kind of manage it and balance it? No, well, then you can't do masonry work, right? Can you take hot sun? So there's certain things that you have to be able to endure in order to be able to do mason work,
Right.
or vice versa. And I point all of that to say that I mentioned earlier on that you've been someone that helped inspire me to run, just from the fact that you were so courageous. You were young. You were very, very young.
Don't remind people, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were, as you was a baby. But you were very young and so courageous, and I said, "Wow, that is totally awesome." But I want to flag that as a characteristic, right?
Yeah.
You were courageous. You weren't afraid to take that risk, to get that. It takes cojones, let's put it that way, to walk across the aisle while everyone's watching, to go ask the girl for a dance, and knowing that you might be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I commend you on that courageousness. Let me give you the next one. You've sat on this talk show, for example, again doing your part for the people of this country for 17 years. Now, some people have no value for that. They'll say, yeah, but he was paid. I have no idea where that concept comes from, and I won't go into cruise tourism. But you sat here for 17 years doing that. So that's tenacity. So just look at that in terms of courageous and tenacious. And then on top of that, I know, most importantly, that your heart means well. And I don't want to seem like I'm doing a pre-campaign thing, but I say that because I would want to be in a position that at any point in time that you're going to run, that I could be there to support you. I think, and I'm not trying to suggest that you're great at anything or perfect at anything, but just in terms of those characteristics, the courageousness that you have, because I can tell you, it takes courage to stand up to do what is right. When a person is elected, they are faced fundamentally with two decisions. Do you want to stay in office, or do you want to do the right thing? And those two rivers very seldom converge. Sounds like they converge, but they don't.
No.
And your courageousness tells me that you would be courageous enough to say, no, even if I lose my seat, I'm not going to do this. This is not the right thing to do. And again, your tenacity to be able to stick with it, not quitting halfway, and jumping out, So that courageousness is there.
Yeah.
And listen, while I'm giving you flowers, then. And so
roses for
right, good year for the roses. And then, like I said, the last thing is that I honestly feel that your heart is in the right place. I can hear and feel it when you speak, and I just say that because continue to do what you're doing, and at some point in time, if you ever get the desire to jump out there again, hopefully I'm still alive, healthy and well to get out there and campaign on your behalf. Well, but I think it's going to be an interesting race, and I want to just encourage persons before I leave that. Give everybody a fair chance. Let's try to make sure that we're not letting anyone who looks like he don't belong there. Give everybody a chance. Hear what they have to say. Don't just make assumptions that because so and so worked in a company or they're a very big shot. You just really give everyone a fair chance. The same way you would want to get that fair chance if you were applying for a job. That you couldn't show up at the interview with a 3-piece suit, but you mean well. Give everybody that same chance and make a meritocratic decision. Let's stop all of the I'm voting for him because he my brother, he my sister, or whatever. This is very serious.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. Or he gave me a couple of dollars. We need to. This is a very serious decision.
Something that a very, very close, personal dear friend shared. It reminded me. We rarely accept the compliments and accolades, even when they're genuine, they're giving and deserving, right?
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm as guilty as that in terms of stop talking foolishness. So thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
I know sometimes we get dismissive, but honestly, like I said, I'm being genuine.
No.
Yeah.
You and I go back a ways, and
yeah.
I think why our friendship cemented is that when we disagree, there's respect, right? There's no vitriol, there's no malice. That's rare these days.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes on a personal level, the little bit, and I don't profess to understand the scripture. Jonah, was it, on the road to Nineveh? Didn't want to go?
Correct.
Right? Someone told me, do you understand the story? I said, no, that's about it. And so sometimes you don't want to, for whatever reason. It's many who, they do something as a career. Very few have a calling. Was it a Shakespeare that said, some are born great, some are treated with greatness, and others have greatness thrust upon them. We're lacking humility and integrity and honesty. We're lacking a work ethic and an ethos that looks respectfully and responsibly at each other. I, on a personal level, I don't want my politician to say, read my eulogy or be my pallbearer. You come out of respect for the family. I want you to put your head down and get the policies, the legislation, whether it's introducing new, amending what exists for the country. We have a serious, conscious decision to make. If you think the parliamentary privileges that exist, a parliamentarian can get on the floor of the House and make comments that some perceive as threatening. If you believe that somebody, like your example, who may have a particular education or experience versus another who seemingly does not, until you listen, what you invited us to do objectively, sensibly, and you go, wow. See, we dismiss and ignore too many because of their age. Scripture says, don't let them despise you because of your youth. We look at them and say, boy, that suit not made for him, right? I watched a young fella play a Carlos Santana song, Mi Corazón Espinado, right? This little fella had to put the bar across there, right? And he moves his strings, right, in a way that I couldn't tell where his fingers, the frets, and the strings were different.
Right.
And when the camera panned to Carlos Santana, you could see in his eyes. Sadly, the cameraman did not do it justice.
He didn't stay focused.
Yeah. The respect and
admiration.
Yeah, I know. They're great guitarists. You may say Clapton, but I think very few would not admit that Santana should be in that hall.
Right.
And Santana's eyes on this little fellow.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if Pella tell you you're a good football player, chances are you got promise.
And I'll say one thing before we leave.
Yeah.
You know, when I talked earlier on about the equality and trying to get the campaigns equal so that everybody has a fair shot, and looking at yourself, it reminds me of another situation I think I want to mention. You see, you have persons who are in jobs who want to run for office, but they've also got that dilemma, right? Do I leave this job and run for office? What if I lose? Can I go back and get the job? And then they probably got to weigh out things like their family. And I say that because, again, that is something else that we need to really consider. A company might lose a person that's working for them for 2 or 3 months. But I don't think it should be viewed in a negative that you're getting out there in politics and I want nothing to do with it, so you won't be able to come back and get your job. Consider the fact that somebody's stepping out to do something very courageous, very important for the country. And that if they go out and run and lose, and assuming the company doesn't have to suffer too much, I think you should consider letting the person come back as well. You know?
Well,
so little things like that we can do to help keep the place
thank you for that.
feel level.
Maybe borrowing from you, right?
As long as you give it back, I don't mind if you borrow it.
Yeah. Taking a page out of your encyclopedic collection, right? Maybe in what you shared, we look at a couple of things. We say adversity builds character. If they say it's not so much, the circumstances, how you respond to it. So that employer will do 2 things. Allow this employee to pursue this thing, because then you get to see the real person that is in the facade, the mask, in the environment. It also allows the semblance of a democracy to be championed, because you are not denied an individual this opportunity to pursue that landscape. But I think what it also should instill is that no matter how competitive, now we say politics is parochial, we introduce foolishly the one man, one vote, the party system, only to divide us, right? If we have an expectation that the debate, the discussion, and all of the dialogue that is going to take place during the political season is one that uplifts, doesn't tear down, one that informs, as opposed to maligns, will raise the bar, But perhaps more importantly, if there's at all, the possibility, is that we ensure that the access to the political arena is as unfettered as possible. We now have a space where you have to pay $1,000. You get a 10% or more, you get your money back. Here's something that I want us to consider going forward. The fee is a nominal fee. You don't get it back. $50 or $100, right? An application processing fee. If you are successfully elected or re-elected, then the fee becomes X. You pay more, right? You don't go to the football match for free. You pay to get in, right? If it's broadcast, you watch it on your TV, whether it's over the air or a subscription, right? But you don't go in for free, and then those who stay outside pay. So pay if you're elected. Just a thought process.
Well, it's something for me to think about.
Yeah.
Dwayne, in ending, let me say, and I know you don't get upset with me, okay? Don't get upset. I just want to say two things. One, I'm going to plug my talk show. Listen,
go right ahead, man.
Listen, first of all, two things I know. First of all, please tune into Straight Talk again today, Monday through Friday, but of course again today between 4:30 and 6:30. It's on 89.1 FM, and thank you for that free advertisement, although your boss is probably going to jump down your throat about it. But the last thing I want to say again is that to all the persons out there, I know that there will be persons who will question my motives and the motives of other persons. But I wish to assure you that if you look at my record, whether it's jobs for Caymanians only, whether it's the pensions and trying to give Caymanians the chance to have home ownership, I want to say all of this. Again, I just want to encourage everyone listening to me. Please give a fair consideration and thought to the whole issue of cruise tourism. There are 2,587 of our sisters and our brothers who depend on it. And if it's worth anything, I, Elio A. Solomon, is asking you to kindly consider going to the polls on the 3rd of April 2025 and vote to give our opportunity to our brothers and sisters to continue to earn a living in an industry that means the world to them. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless all of you.
Hey, thank you for your time, and always a pleasure to hear you sing. I'd say you sing and sound better than me, but that's not a compliment because it doesn't take much.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right, to everybody, thank you for your time. Join Mr. Art Monday morning for the record. God's willing, I'll be here. You'll join us after that. Have a wonderful, safe, and blessed weekend. A number of things are unfolding this weekend. Dormant Day at 2 o'clock, Georgetown Yacht Club for their boarding school fair. We have the Miller Cats. I got it right in front of me. See? The school robotics tournament.
Prove that you're,
Into the deep. Free admission tomorrow, 12 to 6 at the Ark in Commander Bay. But also, God's willing, I want to take a trip up to Savannah, go to Pedro, be a part of the Cocoa Fest. Come in, be a part of that. It's going to be fun.
Am I invited?
It's an open invitation. I mean, if I'm taking you with me?
Yeah.
No, bro.
I drive your own car.
No. Hey, you can go if I see you, I say hello.
All right.
If I have to.
I appreciate that.
No, I want better company. Just kidding. Tomorrow, come join us. Elo's there. I'll be there. What's that song? I'll be there with bells on. All right. Have a wonderful, safe, productive, enjoyable weekend.
Great weekend.
Stay in prayer. Be positive. And as you're pensive, may your thoughts ruminate in such a way that you're always productive. Until Monday, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.